Hi everybody, it's Catherine from In the Pink Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, so the supplies I use you can purchase from Stampin' Up through me at the address at the top of the screen, and it's also linked below. My project today is a fold-over box. It folds over like this, and it is size 3.5 by 3 by 1. Obviously, it's a window box. I used the scary silhouettes to make the window. I packaged up some candy corn and I put it inside. Let's see. I used the Kindest Gnomes stamp set for the little gnome, the Scary Silhouettes dies, and also the gnome dies for this. This green paper is from the Celebrate Everything Host Designer Series paper, which anyone who spends $50 on my site till the end of August gets a free 48 pack of 6x6 sheets. Okay, that's best just from me. I will send that to you after you order. And I use, of course, the black and white gingham ribbon for the top. So what else do we need here? We're going to put it together a little bit different than normal this time. So you'll see. Okay, we need a window sheet that is 3.25 by 2 3/4. We need one sheet of the Celebrate Everything Host paper that is 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. We need this cut out, and I used 2 of the dies nested together, and that helps us put this right on top because it's going to be green. So I cut one out of black with the both of them nested together. When we cut the actual box, we only use the inside. Okay, so we need one piece with them both together. We need 2 pieces of the DSP that are 3/4 by 3 1/4, and 2 pieces that are 2 3/4 by 3/4. Okay, and a piece of basic black that is 10 by 5, and this is cardstock. Okay, so let's get to, this is my host code. If you're going to spend anything under $150, please put that in, and I can send everybody a little something. All right, so we're going to be starting on the 10-inch side, and we're going to score at 1, 4.5, 5.5, and 9. And we're going to turn it to the 5-inch side and score at 1 and 4. Okay, and that's it. Now this time I'm not going to fold and burnish. All right, we're going to put it in the portrait mode, and we're going to be working on the bottom piece, okay? So what we have to do first is attach this one piece of DSP that is 2 3/4 by 3 1/4 right here. And if you want to do it with liquid glue, you're going to have to wait until your piece is completely dry before you put it through your die cutting machine, because it will seep out and wreck your project. So I'm going to be using Stampin Seal. I'm just going to make sure I get a lot of it, all the edges, and then I put 4 down from top to bottom. Okay, I'm just going to pop that on there. Okie dokie. Now, we need just the inside of our die. Well, actually, it's just this piece here from the Scary Silhouettes dies, and I'm just going to center that in here, and I'm going to put a bunch of tape because I really don't want it to move. It would wreck our box. So I'm going to put 4. Okay, you might have to roll this through twice because you're going through the DSP, the cardstock, and a little bit of glue. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. All right, and then we're just going to gently pull the tape up, so we don't want to rip our DSP. Okay, and I'm going to try to get these out. I'll use my Take Your Pick tool because I want to be gentle. Yeah, they look like they came out fine, but I want to make sure that I get them without ripping anything. Okay, and that's how it comes out. I did rip a little bit on the back, but it's okay. It'll be inside the box. All right, as long as we have all of the pieces there, it's perfect. All right, now I'm going to fold and burnish my box. All right, so what we're going to do now is just tab all of the squares and keep all of the rectangles straight. All right, so we'll start on the bottom left. We have the 1-inch strips on either side and the long ones are on the top and bottom. Okay, so we're going to go to the first score line, cut it straight, and wedge each side of the square. Next score line, cut it straight, next score line, cut it straight, and then wedge each side of the square. Okay, next score line, we're going to go to the first score line and wedge each side of the square. And that's what we're going to do all the way around. Okay, and that's what your cardstock should look like when you're all done with the cutting, the scoring, and then the cutting around. Okay, now we're going to put tear and tape on each one of the squares tabs, and we're going to put one close to the score line and one close to the edge. Now let's use our take your pick tool, and we're going to be starting on this end, the end that doesn't have the cutout yet at all. We're not going to do it at all. And we'll start with this strip here. What we're going to do is take the score line on the tab and make it straight with the side of the rectangle on each side. Okay, now we'll go to the next ones, and we're going to be joining to this side to make the bottom of the box. And the top score line of the tab with the side of the rectangle. Okay, and then we just have the top of our box. Okay, and the same thing, top the score line straight with the side of the rectangle. Let's see. And that's our box. Okay, now what we're going to do, well, we can leave it closed. What we're going to do is take our piece that we cut out before, and we're going to glue it right over the piece that's there. Okay, get as little green showing as we can. So what I'm going to do is for the branches, I'm going to put glue on the actual green. Doesn't have to be a lot, but the pieces that are really out there, you really want to make sure you get a little bit on. Okay, and then on the back, oops, of our die cut, we're just going to do the outside. Okay, and we're just going to match them up the best we can. We can open it. And just keep moving it around until you like it. You could actually do this before you put the box together too, so that you can do it flat if you want to. Okay, there we go. And I don't want to put the window sheet on until the glue dries because it'll mess it up. Okay, now I'm just going to lift this up to the front part where the DSP is now, and I'm just going to take a little finger grip out, see a little semicircle there, so that it's easier for them to open, whoever gets it. Okay, and now our glue should be dried, so let's go get our piece of window sheet that is 3 1/4 by 2 3/4, and I'm going to be using a bunch of glue dots. I'm going to use 8, I think. I'm going to put them at all corners and one in the middle of each side. Okay, then I'm going to open the box. And we're just going to lay it right down in there on top of the edges. Just press down the glue dots. I got a little bit of glue on there. Oh well. Okay, and there's your window box. Okay, so then we'll put in our candy corn, and that gives it a nice bright look brightens up the outside. Okay, so now we're going to do some stamping. So we need some basic white cardstock, Tuxedo Black ink, and we're using this one with the little lantern of the gnomes from Kindest Gnomes stamp set. Put it on this side. And I'm just going to stamp him right there. Good. Okay, then I'm going to put the gnome die that matches right on top. And I'm going to cut it out and I'll be right back. Okay, so now we're going to color. And I'm going to use light basic black for around the hat. I'm just going to color a little bit around the edge. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with dark smoky slate and kind of try and blend it out. Okay, and then we're going to put light smoky slate in the middle of the shoes to start, and then I'm going to put dark smoky slate around the edges, and then I'm just going to blend them together. And that is the hat and the shoes. Okay, now for the pants, I'm going to use light soft suede. For the lantern, I'm going to use just straight dark soft suede. Okay. For the inside of the lantern, I'm going to use dark Daffodil Delight. Okay, and then for the shirt, I'm going to use dark Highland Heather. Okay, for the nose, first I'm going to put some light Flirty Flamingo right at the top. And then I'm going to take dark Petal Pink and I'm just going to blend that out. And then I'll use the dark Petal Pink on the hands also. Okay, and then I'm going to use light smoky slate just to add some gray into the beard. I don't want to do it solid gray. I just want to add some lines in. There we go. And that is the gnome. Okay, all of the colors I use and what I use them for will be on my blog, and the measurements will be on my blog, and it is linked below. Okay, so now what I'm going to do first, I guess, is get my black and white gingham ribbon. I'm going to start over here, and then I'm going to loop it around twice, around just the top. We'll just move it up there. Okay, and then I'm going to just pull so that there's, of course, enough to tie. And I'm going to take the one I'm going to tie with and put it through underneath both of these pieces here. Okay, And then I'm just going to tie a bow. There we go. And then I'll just separate those just a little bit. You could just do one if it's giving you too much of a trouble. And I'm just going to clip and clip. Okay, that's that. All right, now we'll get our dimensionals, and I'm going to put one on the head and one on the body. Now you could also add a sentiment hanging off if you wanted to, hanging off the bow, but I'm just going to leave them as it is. And I'm just going to pop up the gnome right here. And for the final touch, I'm going to use some of the Daffodil Delight Glossy Dots. And I'll put a large one right there. And a small one up there. And a medium one. Let's do it right there. Okay, and that's it. If you have any questions, my email is below. All the links are below to my blog, to my shop, and to join. If you'd like to join during celebration, you get a free planner with 2 notebooks, the planner pages, and a stamp set inside. If you'd like to join my team, I'd love to have you. Hit the like button and please subscribe, and I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.